What's going on, family? Just rock with me for a second. It's your boy Craig Breeze. Welcome to the vent. All I need is one mic. Uh, one mic. Yo, shouts to Nas for that illustrious track from the Stillmatic album. Um, but I did have some business that I wanted to tend to with this video. First off, like I said, if you didn't hear me over the music, my name is Craig Breeze, success coach and business development specialist. And now, I'm no politician by any means, but I'm very involved um, in enlightening my peers of the political situation that our country is in. And the most pressing of those is the current one being the Obamacare that's being presented to our nation coming October 1st. Now, today I just wanted to share with you a conversation that I had with Miss Sara Marie Brenner. Let me pull up Miss Brenner's Twitter profile here. Now, Miss Brenner is a writer for the Washington Times, uh, and she's a very prominent person on Twitter. I've been following her for a while now. She actually just followed me back today, so I guess our conversation did have a little clout in her day. But not to throw any shade towards Miss Brenner at all, because her opinion is her opinion and mine is mine. But I just would like to share a few things and a few discrepancies that I found within our debate earlier today. So earlier today, I had not really earlier, it was about 15 to 20 minutes ago, I had a debate with Miss Brenner about the current situation and why Obamacare has been ridiculed by the Republicans and why they just don't want it. Period. Okay. Um. So I'll scroll down and show you guys some things. Um. So basically, this all started. I'll show you my profile first. Um. It all started. I woke up this morning and I said that here. I said honestly, I don't know how I feel about Obamacare yet. Let me do my research. I don't know if listening to angry Republicans is the best idea either. I just need facts. Then I had a friend of mine, Ashley, who responded with the fact that thanks to Obamacare, she has free insurance because her mom has to pay for it. And I said, well, that's great, but what does Obamacare mean for the economy? Why are these angry Republicans acting like the world will end on October 1st? Shaking my head. So I get a tweet well, no, actually, I tweeted Miss Brenner and I asked her because I saw her posting a few things about the actual Obamacare and the movement that Senator Cruz is pushing to have it abolished. And I asked her, why exactly is Obamacare so bad if it gives 25 million Americans health care? I just need facts, trying to make sense of it all. And I'll begin to show you our conversation here. She says that many reasons. One is that with all waivers being given to big businesses and unions, there aren't enough people paying into the pool. That will cause prices per person to be astronomically higher, and the poor are losing their insurance because of it. Now, I was completely unaware of the fact that there was a pool that had to be paid into to fund Obamacare. I was under the impression that it may have been taken out of the taxes that we already pay, minding that they are in the billions. That the tax industry itself is $1 billion industry, um, because they collect on those every day. You pay sales tax on everything you buy, property tax. Taxes are on everything. You can't get around it, just about. And even in California, there's a tax on marijuana, so you really can't get around it. But I asked how. So people choose to pay into it. It's not just deducted from taxes we already pay. And how are the poor losing if the reform is for the poor? In that case, no one wins, even not even the big insurance companies. So she invited me to listen to her radio show that airs tonight on the 405radio.com at 9 p.m. And I will make every effort to take a listen to that broadcast because I definitely am a sponge in this situation. I just want to soak up as much knowledge and information about this and make my own, be able to draw my own opinion of this. And the conversation continued with Miss Brenner, and she says, "No, it's not deducted. Poor people who already have insurance are losing it because the new insurance is too expensive, unaffordable." And I say, it makes sense to me that healthcare should be free, but these arguments between the Democrats and Republicans suggest to me that neither knows what the people really want. And she says that she may have explained this in her last tweet, which there was no real explanation to me. There was just her stating something. There was no explanation of it. I told her that I would listen to her broadcast. I appreciated her transparency. God bless. And she says to me, "How can healthcare be free? You think doctors work for no pay? The equipment is free and buildings are free?" And of course, I'm no fool. I know that it can't be free. But in this government, we do have what's called the military, right? In that military, we do have military doctors and nurses, right? Now, the folks that they're serving are military people. The military isn't even, the population of the military isn't even a fourth of the population of our whole country. So, I figure in my own mind that if those military doctors and nurses took on more patients being the actual American public, that it would make more sense to give the government its own a sector within the government where those military personnel would be able to work directly with those people to carry out those surgeries and prescriptions and doctor just routine doctor visits that the American people will have to, you know, use for their own purposes once Obamacare becomes uh, in full effect here. And that just makes sense, right? If the doctors that are already in society and all of that, they want to complain and they don't want to work for free, okay, well, let's give it to someone that we're already paying. Those military doctors and nurses and healthcare personnel already get paid just as much as any doctor does in the private sector. Therefore, they aren't missing out on any money. They're gaining clients and they're doing a greater good to the economy, to the country as a whole. Now, that doesn't that make more sense? And that's exactly what I said here. I said it can be free by creating a sector of healthcare sponsored by the government with professionals we already pay, army doctors. And I said, it seems that y'all are smart enough to put your heads together and make it work. It's about what the people want, or is it? And then, Ms. Brenner says those army doctors aren't able to treat 310 million people. They serve fewer than 1 million now. You'd have to hire 310 more. And I say that's more than possible with military recruitments being marketed like your favorite brand of toothpaste. Now, we see on TV every single day, at least every 20 minutes that a commercial pops up, there's at least one Navy, Air Force, National Guard, or Marine commercial. Now, I know good and well as a business development specialist and marketing visionary that I am, that no company is going to continue to market a service or product that isn't yielding them any revenue or any positive results. Now, I know that the military is going to keep running those ads because people are responding to them and are enlisting because of those ads. You can't tell me that those people, some of those people aren't doctors, some of those people aren't nurses. You can't tell me that because no one really knows. And I wouldn't be able to take your word for face value unless you are an actual military recruiter that has the stats in front of you to read them off to me. Now, to hire 310 doctors, do you really think that that's a big leap? 310. Not at all. In my book, I say that 310 people to the military is nothing. With the amount of people that they recruit on a regular, minding that the economy is in the state that it's in, people are leaning on the government in all ways, not just in government assistance programs, but people are enlisting into the military because it provides a mean of guaranteed income. And I say, of course, like I said, your military recruitments are being marketed like your favorite brand of toothpaste. Like your favorite brand of toothpaste. So to hire 310 more doctors or nurses should not be that hard of a task, as and as well as the fact that the military provides what's called a GI Bill to pay for any enlisted person to go to school. Now let's say that 310 enlisted people are going to college and they have aspirations to become doctors and to become nurses. The government is not only paying for them to go to school to get that knowledge, to get that certification, but they're employing them once they get it. So they're already in. And she says, well, my original question was, so why isn't, and when she said that, the fact that she was saying the Army doctors, you know, would have to increase by 310 doctors, I said, so why isn't that the Republican campaign? Rather than to do away with Obamacare altogether, that make the most sense. It would. For the Republican campaign to be hiring more doctors to support Obamacare. The people that are in power may not necessarily, in my opinion, know what the people of this world need. Healthcare should be free. I feel that in any business, since America itself is a business, I'll break it down in those terms. Since America itself is a business, in any business, you have your means of production that produce your revenue, that make your company valuable. Now, the means of production for this company, for this American country, for this government is what? The people. The means of production are the people. So I'll shut this down here and go back to the Stillmatic album. But the means of production here are us. So by investing into the people, by making sure that the people have health care that they need to get to a job, to work a job, and to push those wheels and buttons that need to be pushed to make the economy keep going and regenerate itself from the state that it's in this deficit, quote unquote, that we are in. Wouldn't it make more sense to invest into those people and give them free health care to make sure that they can get to work, to make sure that they can get to school and do the things that they need to do to keep this country running the way it's running, and do so in a more efficient way? It makes all the sense in the world to me. So I had a good long talk with Miss Brenner today, and I appreciate her time and I appreciated her opinion. And I'm not here to bash her opinion or anything like that. But I do want to charge the world and anybody listening to either the Republican or Democratic side of this to pay attention. Pay attention and understand exactly what our country needs. Not in a big business sense, but in the little guys. Our country is run off of those little guys, us, the American people. Invest in the people and you will have all of the desires of your heart in big business. So as I bring my video to a close, I want to charge you all to think. My peers and family, I charge you all to think about this. Enjoy your days and be blessed. Godfidence to us all.